This month on Sound Advice, we're focusing in on the fact that it's never been a better time to have a hearing loss. And which sounds weird, but again, there's a lot of options out there right now for folks that can really do a lot of good. Now, last week we talked about the patient, how important it was for them to have a good attitude and to work with what they have. The second key to getting a successful result is your audiologist, is your hearing care professional, and that's you, Doug, and you are the one that people need to communicate with to solve their hearing issues.
Well, we really are partners in that process, that communication journey that people go through when they, the discovery phase of figuring out, hey, do I really have a hearing loss? And then through the counseling and trying to determine what to do and how to help the patient in the best way possible and practicing patient-centered care is really what you have to do. And so I think it's incredibly important that people, if they want to have success with amplification and hearing aids, that they choose the right provider. Somebody who has some sympathy and empathy for what they're going through, not just somebody that's going to run you in and out of the office really quick. Now, we all have those days in the clinic where we're running behind a little bit, and I may not be quite as good a personality that particular day, but we try to sit there and really get to know patients and understand them and work with them and not have them feel rushed when they're in the office.
Yeah, I bet you've gone through just about every emotion with every patient possible, including anger at you for telling them they might have an issue.
Yeah, I mean, it can get touchy sometimes, and communication issues lead to a whole range of emotions. Sadness because they're missing out on the activities they really enjoy, anger because their spouse is continually complaining about their communication ability. There can be some negative emotions, but there can be also tons of positive ones, and you have to dwell on that and think about that and how we can improve people's quality of life.
And again, it's the provider's job to find the best way forward for the patient.
Well, you have to, when I'm buying things, I always think, why is that person making that recommendation for me? Whether it's my local plumber, whether it's my mechanic, whether it's my physician, or it could be the audiologist. What is in it for them? Why are they recommending that? And, if you think about it in the long term, sometimes it's hard if you have a new business. You need people coming in. You need revenue. All small businesses survive by earning money. If you think about it in the short term, that person's just trying to sell me something. But we're trying to establish relationships with patients and have referrals and have a good reputation in the community. And that's why it's so important, I think, that you find a provider that you can trust.
And you've got the history behind you, 25 years here in Carroll that you've been working with folks. So again, you've got the track record behind you, all of that history. Doug, it's real simple. People just need to come in and communicate with you to start that process.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from them, John. They can call us here in Carroll at 792-5933.
So again, your provider is critically important, but we'll talk about the next step, which is the device. That's next week on Sound Advice with Audiological Services of Iowa.